Historically, the term 3TG has described the elements tin, tantalum, tungsten, and gold. 3TG elements are defined as conflict minerals because they line the pockets of warlords enslaving communities of the Congo. However, there's a new conflict mineral that's fueling the global green energy transformation: cobalt. The Congo supplies about 70% of the world's cobalt demand because it contains more cobalt than the rest of the planet combined. Cobalt is in every electric vehicle, cellular device, laptop, and likely the gadget you're using to view this video right now. Before we learn about cobalt, let's talk about the Congo's history that's riddled with greed and suffering. The Congo is located in the center of Africa and the world's second most diverse rainforest. The jungle is teeming with mountain gorillas, chimpanzees, forest elephants, vipers, leopards, and over 1,000 species of birds. Located just underneath the forest floor is a cache of diamonds, gold, uranium, oil, copper, and of course, cobalt. What may seem like a blessing has been a vile curse. The people and the land of the Congo have been exploited for centuries by Western colonizers. In 1885, Belgian King Leopold first colonized the Congo. This led to decades of slavery and suffering for the Congolese people. It's estimated 20 million people died during the 23-year rule, till the Belgian government took control. The government remained in control until protests and riots in the 1950s finally led to the Congo gaining independence. The people believed this newfound freedom was the key to the Congo succeeding. However, decades of oppression and slavery left the people of the Congo uneducated, and there were no politicians, engineers, or doctors to lead their new society. Eventually, some order was achieved, and in 1960, Patrice Lumumba was elected the first prime minister and assumed control over the nation. Patrice fiercely resisted Western powers' attempts to resume their mining operations in the Congo, and this did not sit well with the Westerners. Shortly after he was elected, he was arrested, tortured, and executed. A new president, Mobutu Sese Seko, gained control shortly after. He sought friendly relations to Western powers and reinstituted their mining operations. In return, he reaped enormous profits and spent them to the fullest. He erected numerous palaces containing luxury Mercedes-Benz automobiles and frequently flew to Europe for designer clothing shopping sprees. This paradise did not last long for Mobutu. Mobutu was overthrown during the genocide of Rwanda. The history of instability, violence, and chaos has prevailed through generations and seeped into the present age of blood cobalt. The cobalt mines are primarily under Chinese control. 15 of the 19 largest mines in the Congo are Chinese owned. The Chinese government is paying workers $1 a day to do back-breaking work in toxic conditions. Siddharth Au.Ra, an expert on modern-day slavery and human trafficking, spoke on the Joe Rogan Experience, exclaiming, "Throughout the whole history of slavery, I'm going back centuries, never in human history has there been more suffering that generated more profit and was linked to the lives of more people in the world than what's happening in the Congo right now." Siddharth has taken multiple trips to the Congo and has gotten to see the cobalt mines firsthand. This is a video he took of a mine claiming to be an industrial mine. For reference, an industrial mine utilizes excavators and tractors as the primary extractors of ore, while an artisanal mine utilizes manpower to extract ore.
I was the first outsider to get into this mine, and that's why it's just a really short video that I was able to take. This is an industrial cobalt mine where there's not supposed to be one artisanal miner.
This mine was filled with hundreds of artisanal miners, including women and young boys. The story told at the top of the chain, where industry executives kick back and watch their stocks grow, is all a lie. There are no excavators and tractors unearthing the cobalt. Instead, thousands of Congolese locals are slaving away every day, prying each and every piece of cobalt from the earth by hand. As the world continues its green energy transition, the demand for cobalt is projected to increase 5 to 6 times in the coming decade. This is primarily due to the adoption of electric vehicles, as cobalt is used to maximize charge and stability of lithium-ion batteries. China's Made in China 2025 policy plans to transform China into a manufacturing superpower in 10 areas, including lithium-ion batteries. In exchange for control of Congolese mines, China has promised billions on infrastructure for schools, roads, and hospitals across the Congo. Little of this promise has come into fruition, and natives are questioning when they're going to be fulfilled. One whistleblower working at a Chinese mine agreed to meet with ABC's Michael Davey on the condition his identity was kept secret. He revealed beatings are commonplace, and the Chinese attitude towards safety is even worse. If a worker dies, they bury the body in an effort to hide the corpse. The family is then bribed to keep quiet, and the whole incident is swept under the carpet. This danger is just the tip of the iceberg. Radiation exposure, cave-ins, cardiac arrest, and death is on the forefront of miners' lives. A Congolese native who goes by Mama Nicole was attending church one evening when a friend rushed in and whispered in her ear, "Your child went to the mines. There was an accident." Her son had been scavenging for cobalt amongst the massive embankments surrounding the village when a 30-meter tall piece sloughed off. Her son and his best friend were buried alive. Their bodies were later recovered, not by the government, but by other artisanal miners scavenging for cobalt. Stories like this are all too ordinary, and the culture around cobalt mining has grown toxic. Miners have grown incredibly superstitious. Kidnappings and even blood sacrifices have reportedly been conducted to bring good fortune surrounding the mines. The Kateko project by the US Department of Labor is working to address child labor in the Congo. Over $5 million has been funded to raise awareness on the challenges and opportunities to combat child labor, build the enforcement capacity of local governments and other relevant stakeholders, and improve private sector monitoring and remediation of child labor violations. As a result, 28 mining companies have begun implementing monitoring and remediation efforts on child labor in the Congo. Additionally, 150 representatives of the Congo government were trained in government, civil society, and private sector in monitoring and remediating child labor. Spreading awareness so more attention is brought to the atrocities occurring in the Congo is the best thing you can do to help. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.